The monotony and exhaustive burnout, vomiting from the left, reared its ugly head yet again to debate its proposed American dream-killing legislation.
The overall U.S. economy right now looks strong. The unemployment rate is at historic lows. Unemployment among African Americans is down. The markets are booming. Wages, while not growing as much as many would like, they're still doing about as well as they were in the Obama-Biden era. My question to you, Mr. Vice President, is what is your argument to the voter watching this debate tonight who may not like everything President Trump does, but they really like this economy and they don't know why they should make a change?
Well, I don't think they really do like the economy. Go back and talk to the old neighbors in the middle-class neighborhoods you grew up in.
I propose that we make college free for 80% of Americans.
Get back into the International Climate Change Agreement. I will do that on day one.
We are the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care for all people, which is why we need Medicare for all.
Of course, there was the inevitable plea to hand over the country to the righteous hordes of immigrants who are far more valuable to these politicians than the American tax-paying citizen.
The fact is, almost half of Fortune 500 companies were started by an immigrant or children of immigrants. Immigrants make our country stronger and more dynamic.
Day one, we introduce bipartisan legislation, which will in fact be comprehensive, which will result in a path toward citizenship for all of the 11 million who are undocumented. That is what the people of our country want.
Immigrants don't diminish America, they are America.
I think it's important to note that this president is not against immigration. He's against immigration by non-white people.
Yes.
This is his attempt to divide us, as Senator Sanders said, on race. And that's what he's been doing since the very first day he started running for president. He's been vilifying non-white people. He's been trying to inflame his base and scare them that if, in fact, white people lose control of this country, that they're going to lose control of their lives.
Number one, the reason we're the country we are is because of immigration. We've been able to cherry pick the best from every single continent. The people who come here have determination, resilience. They are ready to stand up and work like the devil.
Not satisfied enough with generalizing their disgust for American citizens, they singled out male Americans as an evil class that must be defeated at all costs.
Former President Obama said this week when asked who should be running countries that if women were in charge, you'd see a significant improvement on just about everything. He also said, quote, if you look at the world and look at the problems, it's usually old people, usually old men, not getting out of the way. Senator Sanders, you are the oldest candidate on stage this evening.
And I'm white as well. Yes.
I believe that President Obama was talking about who has power in America, whose voices get heard. I believe he's talking about women and people of color and trans people and people whose voices just so often get shoved out.
Our country is deeply misogynist, and most all of us know that. Money and men are tied together. I'm on the record saying that you need both strong men and female leaders in government, because the fact is, if you get too many men alone and leave us alone for a while, we kind of become morons.
The entire field remains overwhelmingly white. What message do you think this sends to voters of color?
It's both an honor and disappointment to be the lone candidate of color on the stage tonight. I miss Kamala, I miss Corey, though I think Corey will be back.
Senator, with all respect, this question is about race. Can you answer the question as it was asked?
What they never truly addressed were the millions of American voters that they have collectively placed in Hillary's basket of deplorables.
With Trump out of the way, it's not going to change things in a fundamental way. But what it will do is it will mean that we're in a position where he's not going to be able to intimidate the base. His base is not going to be intimidate those half a dozen Republicans we may need in other things.
What we are seeing in the Middle East and around the world are the consequences of this president's failure, this president's refusal to lead, while welcoming white nationalists into the White House.
Let's talk about how we win an election, which is something everybody here wants to do in terms of defeating the most dangerous president in American history.
That group of imposters will never be able to communicate the true message to the American voters like President Donald Trump. John Bauer reporting.